Money or friendship, which would you choose? Today, we begin the twisted psychological story of Tomodachi Game, a tale that tests just how far friendship can go when debt and betrayal enter the picture. This is the introduction arc. Would you kill your friend for money? Yuichi sits, counting his money, worried about surviving the next 2 weeks on such a small amount. A woman nearby notices and asks why he's so focused on it. Yuichi explains that he can't help it. Money is all he has to survive. The woman smiles gently and reminds him that while money is important, there's something even more valuable in this world. Yuichi looks puzzled and asks what it could be. She answers simply, yet profoundly, friends. Yuichi approaches Kita and proudly announces that he's delivered all 500 copies of the morning paper. Kita smiles and praises his hard work, noting that it was more than double the usual amount. As a small reward, he offers Yuichi a treat. Yuichi gratefully accepts, explaining that he really needs the money. The upcoming school trip next month requires each student to pay a hefty 70,000 yen. Every yen counts. Kita frowns when he hears the 70,000 yen fee and comments that it must be tough. He notes that Yuichi is also saving for university exams and hesitantly asks if there isn't a way to skip the school trip. Yuichi shakes his head. He explains that they promised to all go together. When Kita asks, "We?" Yuichi simply replies, "My friends." Kita nods, understanding, and wishes him good luck. Yuichi thanks him politely. Then, Kita notices the coffee in Yuichi's hand and asks if he doesn't drink it. Yuichi replies with a small smile that it would be a waste to drink it now. Every yen counts. A yellow-haired boy notices Yuichi and exclaims in excitement that he managed to save the full 70,000 yen. He casually mentions that his father would have lent him the money if Yuichi had asked. Yuichi chuckles lightly, brushing it off. But a girl quickly interjects, scolding him gently. She reminds him that Yuichi isn't some charity case. As friends, everyone should be on equal footing. She also criticizes the boy for always acting like the superior one, even though she knows his father is a city council member. The boy waves it off, saying it's not a big deal and that Shibei didn't mean any harm. He just speaks without thinking sometimes. The girl calls over Mikasa and Yutori, hoping to calm the situation. Mikasa steps in and points out that Yuichi is now able to join the school trip, so there are surely better things to say. Yutori nods in agreement, and Shibei admits that they're right. Finally, Shiho smiles and suggests they all start over, leaving the tension behind and reaffirming their friendship. Makoto Shibei, the class president, pats Yuichi on the back and praises him. "Way to go, Yuichi." On the surface, Shibei seems perfect, sporty, from a wealthy family and a natural leader. But he's a bit of an airhead and often says thoughtless things, which makes him unpopular with the girls. Still, it's hard not to like him. Shiho Sawaragi, the class's vice president, often called the real president, lets out a small sigh of relief. "I wasn't even worried, but thank goodness." Raised strictly by her father, a police officer, she hates anything crooked, is skilled in fighting, and is extremely reliable. Tenji Mikasa, the top student in the grade, smiles and says he's looking forward to the trip. Smart, well-spoken, and a natural mediator, he may appear unfriendly at first glance, but both teachers and classmates respect him deeply. Finally, Yutori Kokoroji shyly says, "Good work, Yuichi." Quiet and kind, Yutori has a love for anime. Though she was bullied in her first year, having Sawaragi in the class now keeps her safe. Yuichi became friends with her through Shiho. Yuichi smiles at his friends and thanks them quietly. "We're friends and will always be," he thinks to himself, confident in their bond. At least, that's what he believed until that fateful day. The teacher steps forward with a serious expression. "I have some bad news today, but it must be addressed. Yesterday, the money collected for the school trip, roughly 2 million yen, has been stolen." The words hit Yuichi and his classmates like a shockwave. Everything they had worked for, the trust and effort, now hangs in uncertainty. The teacher's voice grows serious as she addresses the class. "We assume that the culprit is someone from this class," she says. "If anyone has any idea who it might be, please tell me later." The room falls silent. A wave of tension spreads among the students. Suspicion now hangs heavy in the air. Friendships that once felt unshakable begin to tremble under the shadow of doubt. Shiho Sawaragi steps forward, panic and guilt written across her face. "I'm sorry, everyone. This is all my fault," she cries. "I was responsible for collecting the money and handing it to the teacher. I should have given it immediately after collecting it." She explains that during yesterday's self-study period, everyone was free to move around, but there's no way students from other classes could have taken it unnoticed. Her voice trembles as she pleads, "If the culprit is here, I beg you, please show yourself. Otherwise," the tension in the classroom skyrockets. Every student exchanges nervous glances. Suspicion now hangs over everyone, and the bond of friendship feels fragile. Shiho Sawaragi raises her head, determination in her eyes. "I'll take responsibility for this," she declares. The teacher stammers, flustered. "No, Sawaragi. It's my fault for trusting a student with such a large sum of money." But Sawaragi shakes her head firmly. "No, I was the one who offered to handle it. I'll stay in the classroom after school today, as long as it takes." Her resolve is unwavering, even as the weight of the missing money and the tension in the classroom presses down on everyone. "I had to leave school immediately for my part-time job, so I don't know exactly what happened after that, but I can guess that no one stayed behind." The next day, Sawaragi was absent. The day after that, Shibei didn't come either. They claimed to be sick, but I knew it wasn't that simple. They must have felt responsible for the missing money. Their absence continued, and soon, whispers and rumors began circulating through our class. Could Sawaragi and Shibei have stolen the money? The thought gnawed at everyone's minds, casting a shadow over the friendships we thought were unshakable. Rumors began to spread rapidly among the students. "They've been absent since then. It's suspicious, don't you think?" "I'm sure her tears were part of an act too," one student whispered. Another added, "If that's true, I won't be able to forgive her." Tenji Mikasa grinned and leaned forward. "Could you tell me more about that?" A nervous girl spoke up, stuttering slightly. "Well, if you think about it, stealing that money would have been easy for them. And their absences are suspicious, too." Tenji shook his head with a faint smile. "Are you sure? Shibei? He brags about being rich. Do you really think he'd stoop to something so petty?" And Sawaragi. "She's practically the embodiment of justice. If anything, she'd punish the culprit, not steal." The room fell silent. Finally, one student mumbled, "You're right, character-wise, they're the least suspicious." Tenji turned to Yuichi and Yutori, giving them a reassuring thumbs up before addressing the group. "Still, this situation isn't good. If they keep being absent, the rumors will escalate. They're not answering their phones either. But starting tomorrow, we have consecutive holidays. Let's go visit them ourselves." Yuichi nodded. "Okay." At home, Yuichi carefully arranges some flowers, thinking to himself, "We'll go visit Sawaragi tomorrow, so I have to finish this today." Suddenly, a loud clatter echoes from the door. Yuichi startles and hurries to open it. "Who's there?" he asks, curiosity and caution in his voice. But instead of a person, he finds a letter lying at his doorstep. Yuichi picks up the letter, noticing the name Shiho Sawaragi written clearly on it. He hurries, clutching the letter, his heart beating faster as he reads the message. "Dear Yuichi, we need to talk. It's important. I'll wait for you in front of the school gate at 11 p.m. tonight." Yuichi freezes for a moment. "What the heck? I have a bad feeling about this," Risky thinks, unease settling in his chest. The moment feels tense as Yuichi approaches the school gate, only to be met by Sawaragi, flanked by everyone. "You're late, Yuichi," she exclaims. Yuichi freezes, confusion washing over him. "Huh? Guys?" he mutters, trying to make sense of the sudden scene. Yuichi looks around in confusion. "What is everyone doing here?" he asks. Shibe tilts his head. "Huh? What are you talking about?" Still confused, Yuichi turns to Sawaragi. "Anyway, what's the important thing you want to talk about?" Sawaragi blinks. "Huh? What do you mean? Aren't you the one who wanted to talk?" An awkward silence falls over the group. Sawaragi then pulls out a letter. "This letter is from you." All of us received it. It says, "We need to talk. It's important." At first, I thought, a letter? In this day and age. But then I remembered you don't have a cell phone. She laughs lightly. Honestly, I thought you were going to confess your feelings, so I was pretty surprised. Yuichi stares at the letter in shock. This is bad, he realizes. Someone has definitely set us up. Suddenly, Yuichi behind you. A sharp buzz cuts through the night. Before Yuichi can even turn around, a taser fires. His body collapses to the ground with a heavy thud. What? Yuichi. Hey, stop. What's your problem? A sharp scream pierces the air. Eek! Yuichi's consciousness fades in and out. What's going on? Stop. What are you doing to my friends? Yuichi's vision slowly returns. Scattered across the ground are 10,000 yen bills, mixed with loose coins. A distant voice calls out. Another voice follows. Yuichi. Yuichi. Through the narrow gap of the door, Yuichi sees a man's face, tears streaming down as he cries out. Yuichi. 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 A familiar voice cuts through the haze. Are you okay? Are you crying? Yuichi blinks, struggling to focus. Sawaragi? His surroundings finally come into view. What is this place? Yuichi suddenly snaps back to his senses. Wait, are you guys all right? Tenji hesitates for a moment before answering. Yeah. Then, a cheerful, unfamiliar voice echoes through the room. Good morning, everyone. The group freezes. Standing in front of them is a strange, doll-like figure, smiling as if nothing were wrong. Yuichi stares at the strange figure. Who is he? Yutori speaks up hesitantly. Manato-kun. He was a character from a late-night anime a long time ago. Even though he looked cute, he stole precious things from children. The content was so extreme that the show got canceled almost immediately. The doll lets out a small chuckle. Haha, looks like there's no need for introductions. His smile widens. I'll just explain the game instead. A super easy game you're about to play. He pauses deliberately. You can make money through it too. The room goes silent as he continues. Every time you clear a game, you'll receive 2 million yen. Yuichi's eyes widen. 2 million. Manabu tilts his head cheerfully, and you can earn bonuses along the way. Manabu's smile doesn't fade. That way, he says calmly, you'll be able to clear your 20 million yen debt in no time. The words sink in. Yuichi repeats them slowly, disbelief creeping into his voice. 20 million yen of debt. Yuichi finally snaps. Hey, what do you mean by that? He shouts. A debt of 20 million yen? What makes you think we'd ever have something like that? Manabu tilts his head, still smiling. His voice softens, almost amused. You really don't know anything, do you? He pauses. In that case, Manabu's smile widens, calm but menacing. It must be the debt of one of theirs, he says simply. Yuichi stiffens, gripping his fists. What? Before he can react, Shibei grabs his arm. Hey, Yuichi. Yuichi flinches. Tenji steps forward, trying to make sense of the chaos. So, Manabu-kun, if I understand correctly, one of us is a debt of 20 million, and the only way to clear it is by playing this game? Manabu nods casually. Yup. Do you get it now? Tenji's expression hardens. Well, one thing is clear for sure. His voice rings out, steady and sharp. That you're a criminal. Tenji glares at Manabu, his voice calm but resolute. Even if it were true that children like us carried a massive debt, this act of abduction and confinement to settle it is still illegal. This is nothing but kidnapping, and it's a crime. He pauses for emphasis. It would be more acceptable if this were some life-changing game we chose to play like those Hunger Games nonsense, but we were forced into it. Shibe nods in agreement. He's right. Sawaragi adds, voice steady but worried. I'm sure our parents have the police searching for us by now. Manabu's grin widens, almost cheerful. Don't get the wrong idea, you dummies, he says, his tone icy. You're the ones who wanted to participate in this game. We're just conducting business. He pauses, letting his words sink in. Otherwise, why would we bother kidnapping you just to help with your debt? We even received the participation fee, 10% of your 20 million yen debt. Manabu's grin sharpens. 2 million, to be exact. Shibe's eyes widen. 2 million? That's the same as the school trip fee. Could it be one of us actually stole the money? Manabu tilts his head, feigning curiosity. Oh, what's wrong, guys? Did that ring any bells? He chuckles softly. Yup, your expressions say it all. Tenji asks cautiously, what if we refuse to play the game? Manabu's smile remains unchanged. We'll release you immediately, of course. But the participation fee is non-refundable, and whoever has the 20 million yen debt will carry it alone. He leans forward slightly. If you choose to participate, the 20 million yen debt will be divided equally among the 5 of you. Each will have a debt of 4 million yen. He pauses, letting that number sink in. You can reduce that amount by playing the game. Even if you fail, the debt won't increase, but each of you will still bear whatever remains. Yuichi's thoughts race. Each of us will have a debt of 4 million. Manabu folds his hands, smiling. I'll give you 5 minutes to think about it. Yuichi's mind races. At any rate, we need to figure out whose debt this is first. About the debt, he starts hesitantly. Sawaragi interrupts calmly. I don't think it's a good idea to investigate who the culprit is right now. Yuichi blinks in confusion. She continues, her voice steady. I just don't believe any of us would intentionally put the others in this situation. I'm sure whoever is responsible was simply troubled, so troubled that they were practically screaming for help. Sawaragi's voice is calm, but filled with conviction. They were counting on us as their friends. Tenji nods in agreement. You're right. Normally, we'd talk about money with adults, but for some reason, they couldn't. Shibei's expression softens, understanding dawning. I see. That's why they're doing this. It reminds me of a classic question. When your friend says, don't ask anything, just lend me money, how much would you give? Shibei speaks first, determination in his eyes. I'll go with 4 million. Sawaragi nods firmly. Yeah, I'd spend that much for anyone in this group. Tenji adds calmly. No need to ask any questions. Yutori's voice is soft but sincere. We're friends, after all. Yuichi freezes, disbelief and frustration flooding him. What? Is that so? Is that what friends are about? Just because we're friends, we're not allowed to ask the reason behind their debt. Shibei glances at him. Hey, Yuichi, what do you think? Yuichi hesitates. Manabu interrupts, a sharp edge in his tone. Huh? Are you doubting your friends? Yuichi-kun. Yuichi stammers, panic rising. Doubting them? And no, I was just going to ask them about the reason behind their debt. That's all. Manabu leans closer, eyes glinting. What for? What if the reason was stupid? Were you not going to help your friend then? Tell me, Yuichi-kun, among these 4, who do you think is the scum behind all this? Shibei, the son of a wealthy family? The hypocrite Shiho-sama? The sly Tenji-kun? Or the lady, Yutori-chan? Manabu leans closer, his voice teasing and sharp. Kinda think of it. Money is more important to you than friends. Huh? You don't really care about the reason. You just don't want to waste money. Why don't you tell them then? What's the most important thing for you? Yuichi swallows hard, panic and pressure washing over him. The most important thing for me is... Manabu grins, waiting. Yup. What is it? Yuichi's voice rings out, steady and resolute. Friends. Friends are more important than money. Manabu claps his hands lightly, a sly grin on his face. That's the spirit. You'll all participate in the game now, yes? In that case, let me lead you to where the first game is held. Yuichi's thoughts churn. Friends are important. I wasn't lying when I said that. But I know something more than anyone here. Something that will grip them with fear. Yuichi blinks, taking in his surroundings. Is this a classroom? Tenji pats the wall casually. The scenery outside the window is just an illustration. Sawaragi peers at the strange setup. Is this Kokkuri-san? Shibei points out, astonished. The 10-yen coin is huge. Manabu steps forward, his expression almost gleeful. Yes, this will be your first game, the Kokkuri-san game. He gestures to the desk. I'll explain the rules shortly, but first, take the name tag in front of you and pin it on your left chest. A number is displayed digitally on the back of the tag. Make sure to check it. Sawaragi reads aloud. Minus 4 million. Manabu nods approvingly. Correct. That's the amount of your individual debt now. Once you clear the game and the amount hits 0, your debt will be completely cleared. Tenji murmurs, I see. Manabu leans in, voice sharp. One important rule. You cannot show your number to the others. Not during the game, not outside it. Break this rule and we'll double your debt. Yuichi's eyes widen in shock. So right now it would be 8 million. Tenji glances at the others. So, it's okay as long as we don't show our numbers? Manabu nods. Yep, you can still tell the others verbally if you want. Shibei frowns, surprised. What the? So this rule isn't a big deal after all. Manabu gestures toward the desk. Now, let me explain the Kokkuri-san game. Everyone gather around. Just like in a regular Kokkuri-san, place your finger on the 10 yen coin. Shibei leans closer, noticing something. Huh, the coin isn't moving at all. Manabu smiles. Yes, because it's fixed to the desk for now. A picture is worth 1,000 words. So let's do a practice round first. I'll give you a question, and you'll move the coin to the yes or no side, depending on your answer. The first question appears. Hokkaido is the northernmost prefecture of Japan. Yuichi thinks quickly. Too easy. The answer is yes, and pushes the coin. Manabu instructs. Put some strength into the coin when you're ready. Kokkuri-san, Kokkuri-san. If you're there, please tell us the answer. Everyone gasps. It's moving. It moved to the yes side. Manabu claps. Ding, ding, ding. Correct. Well done. If this were the main event, you would have cleared the game. See? Kokkuri-san's hands are raised. That means all of you had the same answer. Kokkuri-san will only follow if everyone is in unison. But if even one person answers differently. He glances at Yutori. Yutori, why don't you push the coin to the no side on purpose this time? Yutori hesitates. Okay. Sawaragi notes the coin's movement. This time, it's on the no side. Manabu smiles. Exactly. If the answers are split, Kokkuri-san will follow the minority group instead. Tenji furrows his brow. So, in other words, if even one of us is wrong, the coin won't move to the correct side? Manabu nods with a grin. Exactly. But don't worry. The questions will be as easy as before, and you all seem to get along well. There's no way your answers will differ. Even if they do, though, as long as the coin reaches the correct side, the game is cleared. Pretty simple, right? Sawaragi thinks aloud. So, it's like a true/false game, where everyone has to answer the same way. Manabu continues, his voice calm but ominous. Now for the detailed steps. There are 5 questions in total. If you answer at least one correctly, the game is cleared. Clearing the game earns you 2 million yen, reducing your individual debt by 400,000 yen. Each question is assigned to the person I nominate. The question is in the envelope, and the correct answer is written on it. To prevent cheating or signaling, once the game starts, only the person reading the question may speak. Break this rule, and your debt doubles. Manabu's grin widens. Finally, one last thing. If by any chance you don't get even one correct answer in this Kokkuri-san game, there's a booby penalty. The person with the most debt at the end will have to shoulder everyone else's debts alone. He pauses, looking at their faces. Why the worried expressions? Don't fret. Follow the rules, clear the game together, and everyone's debt stays the same. If all debts are equal, nothing changes. Manabu leans in slightly, lowering his voice. That's all. A little advice for those that look a bit uneasy. Manabu's voice softens, almost teasingly. Don't doubt your friends. That's the only way you'll clear this Tomodachi game happily. Manabu claps his hands with excitement. All right, let's get the first game, the Kokkuri-san game, started. Makoto Shibei, you'll read the first question. Shibei flinches slightly, a brief hesitation that catches Yuichi's attention. Did he just flinch? Yuichi wonders. Is the question difficult? Shibei quickly masks it with a grin. Yuichi blinks. Huh, was that just my imagination? Shibei reads confidently. Mount Fuji is the highest mountain in Japan. Yuichi thinks this is easy. We've got this. The answer is yes. Manabu's voice cuts through the tension. Push the coin now. Kokkuri-san, Kokkuri-san. If you're there, Please tell us the answer. The coin moves, but Yuichi's thoughts darken. We still didn't know the real horror of this game. I wasn't as surprised as everyone else, because I knew more than anyone here just how dreadful money can be. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll cover the next pretty soon, so don't forget to like and subscribe with the notifications on so that you don't miss out on the next video.